Spoiler alert, singing in a mixed voice may or may not be a totally made up thing. If you haven't watched my video, What is Mixed Voice? Everything You Need to Know, be sure to check it out so that this video makes more sense to you. Since it's difficult to even define what this elusive mixed voice is, it's even more tricky to define if you're doing it. What I can speak to though is very likely what it is you're actually looking for, which is how to know if you are singing with the mix technique. What is mix? What is the mix technique? Mix is one of two contemporary techniques that gives your voice loads of flexibility when you're singing without the hassle of breaks in your voice and without having to worry about doing anything damaging to your voice. Sounds pretty amazing, right? Plus, it has the flexibility to allow you to sound a whole bunch of different ways in your singing, all with one technique. Pretty cool, right? So let's learn how to do it. If you've never sung classical before, I will tell you that it might be a little confusing at first. So I'm going to use some terminology, but I'll try to make it as clear as possible so that you can follow along. If you have questions, be sure to pop them in the comments and I will gladly come back and answer any questions for you. What we're going to do in order to make a mixed technique in our sound is we're going to start with a classical sound, a pretty high pitch in our classical technique, and then we're going to move that sound from the head voice where it's resonating for our classical technique to the front where it will resonate for the mix technique. So it's the same voice, we're just going to move the sound somewhere else. Ready? Let's try that. I like this pitch because it's not too high, it's not too low. So we're going to do it on an ah, and it's going to end up like an E, okay, when we move it. So we're going to go, by making a classical space, what you need to do is you need to make a yawn in the back of your throat, like, you hear how dark that inhale is, almost like I'm Darth Vader or something, like, right? That's how you want to inhale in order to create that space. If you're going to feel that yawn stretch in the back the whole time that you are in a classical space. And then in order to make a mix, you're just going to drop that lift. So that yawn is going to start to relax, right? The instant it starts to relax, all the way till we move it as forward as possible, all of that in between is your mix, which is what gives it all of its variety. So let me demonstrate for you and then you can do it with me. Ready? So it sounds like this. This exercise I call back to front because we're moving the sound from the back to the front like this. Yeah? Pretty weird, right? So you hear that it went from to at the end, right? And all sorts of stuff happened in the middle. All the stuff that happened in the middle and the last note, that's all mix. The very first thing was classical, but the instant it drops, that soft palate drops, then it becomes mix. And that's because when it's raised all the way, that soft palate, when it's raised like a yawn all the way, it's blocking off the passageway into your nose so that nothing can come out of here. So I'm going to do a little trick to show you how it's not coming out of here, and then when I mix to show you that it is. So we'll do that same thing. So I'm going to, in my classical, right, you can't tell that I'm plugging my nose unless you're looking at me, right? I'm going to make that sound again, and this time when I plug my nose, I'm going to be lowering that soft palate into a mix, which means it's going to start coming out of here. You hear how it's coming out of here now just while I'm talking, right? So it's going to do that when I'm singing. So first it'll be in classical where you won't be able to tell I'm plugging, and then all of a sudden you'll hear it in my nose. So right, you can hear when it switched, all of a sudden it was all coming out of my nose that whole way through, yeah? So all of that is your mix. And you know it's your mix because it's resonating here, it's vibrating under your fingers when you plug, right? And the classical one won't. The classical one feels like a yawn, and the mix one does not. If you would like some more information about how to mix correctly, I have a few places you can go. I have some videos here on YouTube that will give you more instruction on how to mix properly, as well as on my TikTok channel, which is at Katti Power. You can see how to spell my name right there. I also have this really cool program if you would like some coaching called No Limits Academy. And No Limits Academy is a great place to get some technique training, some performance training, some competitive mindset training. We do all of it in No Limits Academy. If you are thinking about the Academy, but you want to try it out first, I've got you covered. We have a great free 7-day trial of No Limits Academy, which allows you an opportunity to come for free to one of our end of the month masterclasses inside the Academy. I love the Academy so much, and I would love to have you in there. It's a great place to pick up some skill and get some feedback while you're at it. So a lot of times there are programs that are just videos that you watch, but you never know if what you're doing is correct, right? This is an opportunity for you to get the training and to make sure that you're doing it right. So something else that I offer that might be a great place for you, if you're happy to watch this video and then get some feedback elsewhere, I have another great place for you to go, which is my second Saturday masterclass. And that is the second Saturday of every month. I offer a masterclass to the first 20 people who sign up that month. And you get to come in, ask whatever question you have, get individual feedback on whatever it is you're working on, and it's just a fantastic way to get the security that what you're doing is correct, and to pick up some extra feedback and some coaching so that you can improve. So those links for the Academy, for the Trial Academy, and for Second Saturday Masterclass are all in the description below. Also, I believe there's a description to my TikTok, as well as you can click on my face to get my other YouTube videos if you want to check them out there. Awesome. I hope this is helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next week.